Hi, everyone, and welcome. Today, we're talking about something that affects millions of people around the world, anxiety. If you've ever felt nervous, uneasy, or overwhelmed for no clear reason, you're not alone. Let's break it down and understand what anxiety really is. Anxiety is a natural response to stress. It's your body's way of reacting to danger or worrying situations, even if the danger isn't real. Imagine you're walking in the dark and hear a strange noise. Your heart races, your muscles tense up, and your mind starts to imagine all the worst-case scenarios. That's anxiety kicking in. It's like an alarm system in your brain trying to protect you. Now, some anxiety is totally normal. It can even be helpful. For example, feeling a bit anxious before a test can push you to study harder. But anxiety becomes a problem when it sticks around all the time, when it shows up without a reason, or when it stops you from doing normal things like going to work, seeing friends, or even leaving the house. There are different types of anxiety disorders. One is generalized anxiety disorder, where you worry about a lot of different things, almost all the time. Then there's social anxiety, where social situations make you feel scared or judged. Panic disorder causes sudden and intense attacks of fear that feel like something terrible is happening. And there are also phobias, which are extreme fears of certain things like spiders, flying, or even public speaking. So what causes anxiety? It's usually a mix of things. It can be part of your personality, something you inherited from family, or it might come from difficult life experiences like trauma or stress. Sometimes there's no clear cause at all, and that's okay too. The most important thing to know is that anxiety is treatable. You don't have to live with constant fear or worry. Talking to a mental health professional can really help. Therapy, medication, breathing exercises, meditation, journaling, and even regular exercise can make a big difference. Everyone's journey is different, and what works for one person might not work for another. But help is out there. If you're feeling anxious, know this. You're not weak, you're not broken, and you're not alone. So many people are going through the same thing, and there's no shame in asking for support. Now that we've talked about what anxiety is and where it comes from, let's look at how it actually shows up in our everyday lives. Because anxiety isn't just something you feel in your head. It affects your whole body and your behavior too. Let's start with the physical symptoms. These are the things your body might do when you're feeling anxious. You might notice your heart beating faster, like it's pounding in your chest. You could have trouble breathing or feel like you can't take a deep breath. Some people start sweating or feel suddenly hot or cold. You might feel shaky or dizzy, like the room is spinning or like you're about to faint. And anxiety can upset your stomach, causing nausea, cramps, or even diarrhea. All of this can feel really uncomfortable, and sometimes it can even seem like something serious is happening, like a heart problem. That's why many people who have panic attacks end up going to the emergency room. But it's actually the body reacting to anxiety, not a physical illness. Next, let's talk about the mental and emotional symptoms. Anxiety can really take over your mind. You might find yourself worrying all the time, even about small things that normally wouldn't bother you. It's like your brain just won't shut off. You might feel restless, like you can't sit still, or irritable, snapping at people for no reason. Some people experience racing thoughts, or they feel like something terrible is about to happen, even if there's no real danger. You might also have trouble concentrating, or your mind might go completely blank during conversations or tasks. And then there are behavioral symptoms. These are the things anxiety makes you do, or avoid. You might stop going to places that make you feel nervous. Maybe you avoid phone calls, social events, or even going outside. You might cancel plans at the last minute or stay in bed because facing the day feels too hard. This avoidance might bring some relief in the short term, but it often makes anxiety worse in the long run. Everyone's experience with anxiety is different. Some people only have a few symptoms once in a while. Others deal with it every single day. What matters most is how it's affecting your life. If anxiety is keeping you from doing things you want or need to do, that's a sign it's time to talk to someone about it. Remember, anxiety is treatable, and you don't have to suffer in silence. There are people who understand what you're going through and want to help. So far, we've talked about what anxiety is and the symptoms it can cause. Now let's explore how anxiety can be triggered by major life events, especially things like pregnancy, becoming a parent, and job-related stress. Life is full of big transitions, and even positive changes, like having a baby or starting a new job, can bring stress, uncertainty, and pressure. That's totally normal. But for some people, these events can trigger or worsen anxiety in a way that feels overwhelming. Let's start with pregnancy. For many people, pregnancy is a time of excitement, but also worry. There are physical changes, hormonal shifts, and a lot of unknowns. You might worry about the baby's health, your own health, the birth process, or whether you're ready to be a parent. These worries can sometimes grow into prenatal anxiety, which is more than just nerves. It's ongoing fear or panic that doesn't go away. After the baby is born, some new parents experience postpartum anxiety. This can involve constant worry about the baby's safety, fear of doing something wrong, or racing thoughts that keep you from sleeping or relaxing. Postpartum anxiety is different from postpartum depression, but they can happen together. And just like other forms of anxiety, it's treatable. So if you're feeling this way, you're not alone, and help is available. Now let's talk about parenting in general. Whether your child is a newborn, a teen, or somewhere in between, being responsible for another human being is a huge job. Many parents feel pressure to do everything right. You might worry about their health, their future, or whether you're a good enough parent. These thoughts can build up and create ongoing anxiety, especially if you don't have support. And then there's employment, another common source of anxiety. Whether you're starting a new job, trying to find one, or dealing with stress at your current job, work can bring a lot of pressure. Deadlines, performance reviews, job security, or difficult coworkers can all be triggers. You might feel anxious before going to work, dread Mondays, or find yourself constantly thinking about work even on your days off. If you're unemployed or going through a career change, that brings its own kind of stress. Worrying about money, stability, and the future is incredibly common, and it can really take a toll on your mental health. What's important to remember is this: life changes don't have to be traumatic to cause anxiety. Even happy moments can feel scary when they come with responsibility, change, or uncertainty. And that doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. If you're going through a big life change and feeling anxious, try to be kind to yourself. Reach out to someone you trust, whether it's a friend, family member, or therapist. You don't have to carry it all alone. Now that we've explored what anxiety is, the symptoms, the different types, and how it connects to life events, let's talk about something really important: what you can do to help yourself when you're feeling anxious. While professional help like therapy and medication can be incredibly helpful and sometimes necessary, there are also self-help methods you can use to manage anxiety on your own. These are simple, everyday tools that can help calm your mind and body, especially when anxiety starts to feel overwhelming. Let's start with breathing. It sounds basic, but when you're anxious, your breathing often becomes shallow and fast, which tells your body something's wrong. One easy technique is called box breathing. You breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, breathe out for 4 seconds, and hold again for 4 seconds. Doing this a few times can signal your body to calm down. Another helpful practice is grounding. When anxiety makes you feel disconnected or like your thoughts are racing, grounding helps bring your attention back to the present. Try the 5-4-3-2-1 method. Name 5 things you can see, 4 you can touch, 3 you can hear, 2 you can smell, and 1 you can taste. 1 you can taste. It's simple and it really works. Movement is another powerful tool. You don't need to run a marathon. Just going for a walk, stretching, or dancing to your favorite music can release tension and help your brain produce calming chemicals like serotonin. Journaling can also help. Writing down what you're thinking and feeling is a great way to get it out of your head and onto paper. You can even try writing down your worries and then asking yourself, is this something I can control? If the answer is no, try to let it go, even just a little bit. Limiting caffeine and alcohol is another way to support your mental health. These substances can increase anxiety for some people, especially if you're already feeling stressed. Try swapping your coffee for herbal tea, or just being mindful of how these things affect you. Sleep is another big one. When you're tired, everything feels more overwhelming. Try to keep a regular sleep routine, going to bed and waking up around the same time each day. and give yourself time to unwind before bed. Avoid screens if you can, and try reading or listening to calming music instead. And finally, talk to someone. You don't have to go through anxiety alone. Whether it's a trusted friend, a family member, or a support group online, just saying, "I'm feeling anxious," can be incredibly relieving. You might be surprised how many people say, "Me too." Self-help doesn't mean doing it all by yourself. It means doing what you can, when you can, with kindness towards yourself. You're not expected to fix everything overnight. Progress is about small steps. In the final part of this video series, we'll talk about professional treatments for anxiety, like therapy, medication, and how to decide when it's time to reach out for extra support. If you found this helpful, be sure to like the video, leave a comment, and share it with someone who might need it. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the last part. You're already taking steps to care for your mental health, and that matters. You're doing better than you think.